Well, welcome back to Mr. Obsolete's Vintage Homesteading. Well, we're off the homestead today. So we were contacted by Mr. Toby Getch and said he had a saw to donate to the channel. So here we are, and here he is. Good to meet you. You bet.
Hey everybody.
And here we got a Stihl 025. Nice little clean saw. That'll fit right in between my smaller saws. I've got the 020 that Dan donated and the 031 that Randy donated. So this will be right in between them. This is about a 44cc saw. Yep. And so it'll be a nice addition to our small Stihl collection, because this will make number 5.
Before I got it running the first time, I took the bar out and turned it off and flipped it upside down to make it look like I know what I'm talking about.
It's got a nice new chain on it. Looks nice and sharp. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's sitting in the garage and figured fit well with.
Yep. So we'll start working on it soon and see if we can get her chopping on the wood, depending on the weather.
Yeah.
See you soon. Well, here we are out in the outback with our latest acquisition here, our Stihl 025 that Mr. Toby Getch gave to us. Even delivered it to us. So he's a subscriber, so it was really, really nice of him to do that. So they had a lot of troubles with it, couldn't make it run consistently and whatnot. These little homeowner saws like this have their glitches. So I've got it so it starts pretty good, but I don't know if it's completely ready to use or not. But get it out here. Well, as you can see, it works really good. I'm going to cut up a little bit more wood and be right back. Well, okay, so far so good. So let's see how easy it starts after it's been sitting for a bit here. pretty darn good. Well, what we're going to do now, on these stumps here, I'm going to start cutting cookies on them. These are burn really good in a day where it's not real cold during the day, and these will burn about 2 or 3 hours. Put them in the stove, put like 2 of them, and they're leaning against another piece of wood. Works great. Use what you have. Okay, let's make some cookies. Better check the fuel. Well, shows plenty of gas, so see if it'll restart here. Well, there must have been a rock or something in the tree because the chain's dull. So we'll be back. Well, here's our latest acquisition. And we had a meet and greet with Mr. Toby Getch. He donated the saw. Even drove it quite a ways to deliver it to us. That was really nice. He contacted us on our webpage there, and they'd quit using it. And they were having troubles with it. It was hard starting, it wouldn't start, and different things like that. And just no use, so it was just sitting around, so I thought he'd see what we could do with it. So anyway, that was a really nice, generous thing to do. This little saw, it's an 025 model, and they made them from 1991 through 2002, so it was a very popular saw. And then they replaced it with a 025C, which had some upgrades that this could have used from the beginning. One of them which was a purge valve for the fuel system, and quick adjust on the chain. But this one's really easy to adjust because the screws right here, just loosen these, and so it's really quick. And these are a homeowner saw, and it's rated at 3 horsepower. It seems to have pretty good power. It's light, it's 10.4 pounds, and runs, this has got a 16-inch bar on it. The max for them is 18. Some people run 20 on them, but kind of works them hard. And the thing that's weird, it's an EPA saw. There's no adjustment on the high-speed needle on the carburetor. And one of our other subscribers had talked about putting a carb on it off an 026 model or a 260 model that has an adjustable main jet, which is probably a good idea. The thing is that when they put a fixed jet in a carburetor and no adjustment, if you're at sea level and stuff like that, that's generally tuned for pretty close to what you need. But if you're up in elevation or got a real hot day, the saw's not going to run good, and I'm sure that's part of the problem with this saw, because this thing has very few hours on it. So anyway, so you can say it's a 45 cc's, 3 horsepower, homeowner grade saw, and you can tell it's kind of cheaply built. One of the things, it's all plastic here, and you can't lube the bar sprocket. There's no hole for it, which I think is kind of a cheeso deal. But anyway, I'm going to go out and do some cutting with it. problem? Well, it's got some kind of a fuel starvation problem. I'm guessing that the gas cap vent or the venting system I use is not working properly. That's probably one of the reasons it was taken out of service. So I'll have to spend some time with it and see what we come up with. Well, it's a little disappointing that our new saw had problems already, but I think it's just a recurring problem that's had all along. I really don't know any history on it or how long it's been sitting, so I've been doing a little research on it to see what common problems they have, and the fuel vent is one of them, which I suspect, or carburetor could be, the diaphragms are bad in it. So anyway, remember that the vintage is best, even this isn't that vintage. I think this is like the second newest saw I own. But anyway, you know, it's got good power for a little homeowner saw. It's pretty good. But anyway, so we're going to be back with some vintage BS. Well, today's vintage BS is about more problems with vintage saws. Mr. Pooh here, our famous Poohland Wild Thing, ended up having a problem here recently and been cutting and running really good, but after we quit filming I was doing some more cutting and it started vibrating and then shut off. And so anyway, I did a little bit of looking into it and see what its problem is, and the crankshaft has failed on it, which is not too common, but fairly common on these. You know, they're really a cheaply built saw. But anyway, Andrew from Butler's Outdoors Canada, another YouTuber, had sent me some part saws a ways back, and there's 2 crankcases in there, and hopefully one or both of the cranks are good, and I gotta tear this down and see if anything else is bad. But anyway, it's just part of having old junk. So anyway, we'll see you on the next vintage exciting video. Vintage is best.